Picture this. Under the dazzling floodlights of North London, a player steps onto the hallowed turf. But this is no ordinary footballer. This is Mohammed Kudus, the Ghanaian sensation whose electrifying unpredictability and technical brilliance have made him the talk of the continent. With his arrival at Tottenham Hotspur, the footballing world is witnessing more than just another high-profile transfer. This is a thunderclap, a moment that could redefine not only Tottenham's ambitions, but also the very landscape of the Premier League. As the dust settles on this record-shattering move, an urgent question emerges. Is this a masterstroke of genius, or are Tottenham risking everything on a player whose star could either soar or plummet under the immense weight of expectation? To grasp the true magnitude of this transfer, let's journey back through Kudus's remarkable story, a tale interwoven with the tactical revolutions and financial transformations that define modern football. Kudus's rise to stardom began in the Champions League during the season, spanning 2022 to 2023. At Ajax, the Dutch Giants, Kudus illuminated the group stage with 6 goal involvements in as many games. His crowning moment: a thunderous strike against Liverpool at Anfield, the ball ricocheting off the underside of the bar, leaving even Liverpool's battle-hardened defense stunned. Though Ajax's campaign ended at the group stage, Kudus's performances reverberated across Europe. The Premier League's elite came calling. Chelsea, Arsenal, and Brighton all jostled for position, eager to inject creative energy into their squads. But in a twist worthy of the underdog's handbook, it was West Ham United who seized the initiative, snapping up Kudus before the Giants could act. It was a calculated risk, one that paid off handsomely. Under the pragmatic guidance of David Moyes, Kudus flourished in his debut Premier League season. He racked up 8 goals and 6 assists, dazzling fans and pundits alike with his blend of dribbling, vision, and raw athleticism. His solo goal against Freiburg in the Europa League was a masterclass in individual brilliance, earning him West Ham's Goal of the Season award. Gary Neville, a respected Sky Sports pundit, lauded him as the Premier League's best newcomer that year. A remarkable endorsement from a Manchester United legend. Yet football's path is rarely linear. The following season, turbulence struck. In January, the Hammers appointed Graham Potter, whose experimental tactics saw Kudus shunted between positions, sometimes as a striker, at other times as a wingback, and only occasionally in his favored attacking midfielder or right-wing roles. Potter's system, reminiscent of his Brighton days, emphasized flexibility. But in this case, it led to Kudus losing rhythm and clarity in his game. The numbers paint a stark picture. In his debut year, Kudus attempted more dribbles than anyone else in the league, more than 280, maintaining a success rate near 56%. The following season, that figure dropped to just under 200 dribbles, with his success rate falling below 48%. Off the ball, his impact waned further. Ball recoveries nearly halved, plummeting from nearly 300 to fewer than 150. This was not merely a temporary dip. It was the symptom of a player unmoored from his strengths. Matters came to a head during a fiery London derby against Tottenham. Kudus, caught in the heat of the moment, lashed out at Mickey van de Ven and raised his hands to Pape Sarr. The result: a red card and a 5-match ban. Kudus himself later called it deeply embarrassing, a low point that ignited fierce debate among fans and pundits. Was this a signal of unraveling under pressure, or simply a young star learning the hard lessons of English football? Despite the questions swirling around him, Tottenham saw an opportunity. With Thomas Frank newly installed as manager, Spurs were determined to chart a bold new course. In a move that shattered decades-old taboos, they entered direct negotiations with West Ham, their fiercest London rivals. The deal that emerged was historic: a transfer fee of £55 million, payable over 6 years, with a significant release clause embedded in the contract. For Tottenham, this was a leap of faith almost unprecedented in recent memory. Daniel Levy, Tottenham's famously meticulous chairman, left no room for doubt. Kudus perfectly embodies the qualities we prioritize: exceptional skill, unwavering determination, and an insatiable hunger for victory. But this is more than just a financial gamble. Tottenham's acquisition of Kudus is strategic, psychological, and symbolic. It is a declaration that Spurs are not content to play catch-up. They intend to disrupt the established order. As Gabby Agbonlahor put it on TalkSport, This signing unequivocally demonstrates Tottenham's ambition to compete at the highest level. Kudus is a statement of intent. At the heart of this strategy is Thomas Frank's vision. Tottenham's analytics division, now one of the most sophisticated in Europe, identified Kudus's pressing and dribbling prowess as vital to their new, high-octane style. Whether in a traditional 4-3-3 or a more fluid 3-5-2 formation, Kudus's versatility unlocks tactical possibilities. He can operate as an attacking midfielder, a dynamic right winger, or even as a second striker. This flexibility was the clincher for Tottenham's data-driven recruitment team. Yet the stakes could hardly be higher. Kudus joins a squad where expectation is relentless and patience is fleeting. Tottenham's history is littered with the cautionary tales of expensive signings who failed to deliver. Players whose reputations crumbled under the glare of North London's unforgiving spotlight. For every Son Heung-min who flourishes, there are others who fade into obscurity. Determined to tip the odds in their favor, Spurs are taking a holistic approach. Kudus will work closely with a dedicated sports psychologist, aiming to strengthen his mental resilience and help him cope with the unique pressures of Premier League stardom. The club's medical and performance teams have been tasked with maintaining his peak physical condition, employing cutting-edge monitoring technology to track every sprint, touch, and recovery. Tottenham's approach reflects the new reality of elite football, where marginal gains and psychological strength are as important as raw talent. Off the pitch, the significance of Kudus' signing is equally profound. The marketing department is rolling out campaigns to capitalize on his immense popularity across Africa, a continent where football is followed with almost religious fervor by hundreds of millions. Kudus' journey, from the Right to Dream Academy in Ghana to the Premier League, is a story of hope and ambition that resonates deeply. Tottenham see this as an opportunity to expand their global fan base, secure new sponsorships, and deepen their commercial footprint on the continent. To give a sense of scale, television viewership for the Premier League across Africa routinely tops several hundred million for marquee fixtures. When Didier Drogba moved to Chelsea, the club's African fan base swelled dramatically, influencing everything from shirt sales to international tours. Tottenham are hoping Kudus can be a similar catalyst, inspiring young fans from Accra to Lagos, Nairobi to Johannesburg. But every opportunity comes with risk. Kudus has chosen the number 20 jersey and publicly set his sights on scoring 20 goals in a single season, a feat that would place him among the most prolific midfielders in the history of the Premier League. Only a select handful of midfielders, think Frank Lampard or Steven Gerrard, have ever reached such heights. The weight of this ambition is enormous. Every missed chance, every dip in form, will be magnified and scrutinized. Behind the scenes, this transfer was made possible by years of financial discipline and innovation at Tottenham. The club's recent financial restructuring, including renegotiated sponsorships and careful budgeting, has created the flexibility to make such a bold investment. Yet, rivals are watching closely, and the margin for error is razor thin. Should Kudus fail to deliver, the club's willingness to take risks could come under harsh scrutiny. Jamie Carragher, a stalwart of English football analysis, summed up the excitement. Kudus injects a dose of unpredictability and directness that Tottenham's attack desperately needed. Alan Shearer, England's all-time top scorer, added, Thomas Frank's tactical intelligence, coupled with Kudus's diverse skill set, could be a transformative combination for Spurs. Of course, unpredictability is a double-edged sword. The Premier League is a crucible, a relentless test of mental strength, tactical discipline, and week-in, week-out consistency. Kudus' second season at West Ham is a vivid reminder. Raw talent must be matched by adaptability and resilience. If he fails to mesh with Frank's system, or if he struggles under the constant spotlight, Tottenham's gamble could quickly morph into a cautionary tale. The ramifications of this transfer extend far beyond individual success or failure. Should Kudus thrive, it could signal a gradual thaw in the historically icy relationship between Tottenham and West Ham. Direct player transfers between these London rivals have been almost non-existent for decades, a reflection of deep-seated animosity. A successful Kudus experiment could open the door to further high-profile moves, shifting the power dynamics in London football. Conversely, a flop could cement the transfer freeze, making future deals even more unlikely. From West Ham's perspective, the deal is bittersweet. They lose a player brimming with potential, but the substantial transfer fee, £55 million, provides crucial funds for reinvestment. The Hammers' next steps, both in terms of recruitment and on-field strategy, will be under the microscope. Will they use the windfall to construct a more balanced squad, or will Kudus' departure leave a creative void too large to fill? There are historical precedents here. When Tottenham sold Gareth Bale to Real Madrid, The resulting influx of cash led to a flurry of signings, some successful, others not. West Ham now faces a similar crossroads. Tottenham's bet on Kudus is, in many ways, a bet on the future of football itself. Modern analytics have transformed recruitment. Data now informs every decision. Scouting, tactical planning, fitness monitoring, and even contract negotiations. In Kudus's case, Tottenham's analytics division identified not only his dribbling and pressing, but also his off-the-ball movement and ball recovery as key metrics. These attributes, they believe, will give Spurs a competitive edge in both domestic and European competitions. Mina Rizuki, an analyst at BT Sport, observed, "Tottenham have secured a player with all the attributes necessary to evolve into a genuine global superstar." Julian Lorenz of ESPN added, "Kudus's versatility is an invaluable asset, providing Frank with a multitude of options across the entire forward line." There's also a lesson in the intangibles. Kudus's willingness to work with a sports psychologist highlights the growing importance of mental strength in elite sport. Today, resilience, adaptability, and a commitment to self-improvement are just as critical as technical skill. The difference between fleeting promise and lasting legacy often hinges on a player's ability to bounce back from setbacks, something Kudus has already demonstrated in abundance. His journey is instructive for Tottenham's existing stars as well. Kudus's arrival is expected to relieve some of the creative burden from Son Heung-min, freeing the South Korean talisman to focus on finishing and movement rather than orchestrating play. In the modern game, squad depth and tactical flexibility are paramount. Kudus's ability to slot into multiple roles allows Spurs to adapt on the fly, keeping opponents guessing and maximizing their attacking options. Commercially, the stakes are equally high. Tottenham's brand already reaches a global audience, but Kudus's appeal in Africa offers a unique springboard. With hundreds of millions of fans tuning in from across the continent, Spurs have a rare chance to deepen their market presence. The marketing team is already developing partnerships, grassroots programs, and digital initiatives tailored for African audiences, transforming Kudus's personal story into a movement. A particularly inspiring aspect of this story is the solidarity payment that will go to the Right to Dream Academy in Ghana. This is more than just a financial transaction. It is an investment in the future of African football. Young players at the academy will see tangible proof that their dreams are attainable, that the journey from humble beginnings to the world's biggest stages is a genuine possibility. Let's step back and consider the broader lessons for aspiring professionals and fans alike. Kudus' path has been anything but straightforward. From dazzling in the Eredivisie with Ajax, to battling adversity at West Ham, to now carrying the hopes of a resurgent Tottenham, his journey is a testament to persistence, humility, and the courage to reinvent oneself. Every setback, whether tactical misfit, red card, or time out of the squad, became a learning opportunity. In football, as in life, success is a marathon, not a sprint. What comes next? If Kudus flourishes under Thomas Frank, Tottenham could boast one of Europe's most dynamic and unpredictable attacking forces. The club's analytics and coaching staff are confident that, with the right support, Kudus can break new ground, statistically, and in sheer influence. A breakthrough season could set off a domino effect, attracting more top-tier talent to North London and encouraging bolder transfer strategies. Tottenham's ability to consistently challenge for silverware could be transformed. But if things go awry, the fallout could be severe. The club's financial risk-taking, enabled by years of careful restructuring, would be called into question. Recruitment staff, coaches, and even commercial strategists could find themselves under intense scrutiny.